currently working on my chunky art book, which I got back in November last year. And this is a big boy. Oh, yeah, this is a big boy. Sorry, I had to pause the video that I was listening to. I have very few sheets left. Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 spreads left. I think I can knock them down before the end of this week if everything goes according to plan and I don't get any more interruptions. And yeah, so I want to make this, I think it's going to be like a chatty vlog. I am trying to get back on my recording schedule, although I don't ever really had a recording schedule. I have tried to paint as much as possible during this time. So we were doing some what's it called, like some housework. We started sometime in February. Now we are the beginning of May. Today is Tuesday, 6th of May, and we're almost done with all the work. So there's just a few pieces missing, but I can already use my studio the way I've wanted. I've had new lights set up, and now I don't have to faff around with my lamp or figure out the lighting or anything, so I can always have this lamp, which is great. And now I can go back to work, get back to work. So as I was saying, I'm all over the place. I have been working more and more in an abstract way, using not just watercolors. I've been using a lot of acrylics. There were a few days where I did a few of oil pastel paintings. Today I have been working on these guys. There is a glare here because I have a plastic sheet on top of this so that I can work on the next page and it won't get stuck or anything. I've been working on this spread, or these 2 pages. I started a new one here that I'm gonna continue now. And of course I did this one here. Well, I actually did them yesterday, but I couldn't finish it, and I just finished it a few moments ago. So I just added this piece here and this piece here. I think this one, I'm going to call it done for now, and I think this one too. I think it would look too crowded if I added more elements to it. Okay, now that I've set you up in a way that you will be able to somewhat see what I'm working on, let's go for it. I have here my handmade watercolors by LM Colors, so by Lisa. I got them a really nice box, as you can see. These are all the ones that I have from her, not counting the samples that she's given me over the years. And I'm using them in conjunction with my acrylics. So where did I just use them earlier? On here. So initially there's a layer of watercolors mixed with a bit of gesso, like diluted gesso, and then these sort of watermarks here, they are done with watercolors once the acrylic is dry. The same here. So it goes for these sort of spots. And that's the only place I've used them today in this session. This is acrylic with gesso and with a white gel pen for the lines here. And yeah, this is what I did a week ago, and this is oh, I'm trying to remember. So it is, I know it's acrylic mixed with gesso, very diluted, but it's also, yeah, I think it is also watercolor. Although I'm not sure about this ochre. Did I? Yes. Yeah, I used my regular watercolors for that. Yeah, I'm remembering now. See, I'm having a hard time remembering things. Like when I've done things and so on. This I did beginning of April, and yeah, we'll do a sketchbook tour in the future, in the near future maybe. And yeah, so this is how I use these. Apologies for my lack of vocabulary. It's happening to me in both Spanish and in English. That's menopause for you. Okay, so I use these plastic sheets to protect this side of my paintings. So when I'm painting on this side, and if I'm going direct with watercolors, and in case they would go through the paper, so that I won't damage previous paintings. And I do the same here, so that if this one buckles too much and it gets too wet, it's not going to ruin this other page here. I actually have an example of that to show you on this sketchbook. I was, when was it? Let me just check. Yeah, so this was also the same, like a week ago Monday. This is watercolor. So these watercolors, as well as my Neocolors, the Neocolor 2. I was using a lot of water on it, and I was happy that I had a plastic sheet on this side, because these flowers, these are also done in Neocolors, the Neocolor 2, which are water soluble. So at some point when I lifted the page so that I would breathe a bit more, so it would dry quicker, I noticed that the flowers had transferred onto the plastic. So had I not put the plastic on them, the flowers would have transferred on this side, and then it would have just ruined the sketch. So that's why I use the plastic sheets to protect them. And of course, I can't fit these like I did on this like I did on the landscape format, because the opening is on the top part, so to speak. So I simply just position them on top like that. So I have it on this side, and then I have it on this side. Oh, this one should be here. Like so. Oh, I'm trying to come up with an idea of what I can do for this spread. I have used silver acrylic as well as golden acrylic. I'm using the Vallejo Acrylic Studio paints, and yeah, this one is also an Acrylic Studio Golden. I love this brand. I I don't know why. I just love it. I find it works really well, and it smells also quite nice. It doesn't have like a chemical smell to it. They smell a bit like bubble gum. You know, your classic bubble gum. It's delicious. Yeah, I think this one too. Yeah. I think that's the reason why I like them so much. These are good. These are good colors. It's a good brand. I also like to use, because these are a bit more expensive, I also like to use these ones by Amsterdam, the small ones especially, because they're just so comfortable to use. You know, when you're working with a lot of media, like I've been doing lately, I don't want to have like the big tubes taking up all my space. So I'll just grab the ones that I'm working with currently, and I'll just like have them around. And I've also labeled them here with a bit of paper, because when you get older, like I do, you start losing your eyesight, like close up, and despite the glasses, it's kind of hard for me to read the black text on dark paint. So the permanent blue violet here, the same with the brown and the sap green. It doesn't happen with the turquoise blue, which is why I didn't put the label. I've been rambling for a bit. It's been a long time since I spoke to you, and I don't think I've ever done a vlog that was so, or maybe I have, you know, like just mind thingy, you know, just as if I was speaking to a friend, kinda. Okay, so let's see what I can do with this. I really like how it shines when I look at it. Yeah, so I used, as I was saying, sorry, I'm getting back to the topic. So I used silver, gold, and the brown one here it's the burnt umber. And I've left a lot of parts of the paper just as they are. The paper is cream colored. And I think I could add, actually I think I'm going to add like details with my pen. Let me see. For some reason I decided to take a different route on this spread, but if you notice on these spreads, it's all like blue, aqua themed, and then this one is warmer tones. So I think I should continue with a bit of the blues. I'm just going to leave this here as kind of inspiration. Same with this one. And let's see, I use this one, and I really like mixing this one, the turquoise, with the raw umber, which is this one here. And this is also Vallejo, but it's fluid acrylic, so it's even better. I love this. It's so easy to use. And as for tools, let me just hold on and just block the page here so that it's not going to be flapping around. I'm now trying to visualize where I could put the blue onto this spread. Okay, so this is how my process works. I work in a very messy way. I need to have everything close to me. Everything needs to be at reach. I need to have options, like paper where I can mess about. other paper where I can like sort of clean my brushes and maybe use this as inspiration as well. I need to have tools. I am trying not to use brushes on this type of work. I use this. I'll try to put the word on the screen because right now it's not coming to me. Like a spatula maybe. And this one is a scraper from Muji, which I knew would come in handy for making marks. And I also have a trusty card, like a credit card. Okay. I think I'm going to need a piece of paper for this. Yeah, I'm just using old stuff. What is this? Trying to recognize the type of paper that I painted this on. These are my scraps. Okay, yeah, I can use this. Although I don't know, it's watercolor paper. I think it's going to absorb the paint too much. Okay. I know I'm being very quiet right now. I need to concentrate. That, I think I'm going to apply a bit more. I'm trying to work loose, intuitively, but at the same time, I find there needs to be a bit of, I'm not sure if control, but there needs to be a direction to what I'm painting. Otherwise, I might as well just dump all paint together and just smoosh it with my fingers, you know? So I am, with this type of paintings, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a sense of composition in a way that is intuitive, rather than using formulas. I'm not sure if this is a correct way to do it. It's not like I read it in a book or anything like that. It's just how I've decided to work. And before I started recording this segment, this part of the video, the reason I decided to record was that as I was painting, I realized that both on my Instagram and on my YouTube channel, I describe myself as a watercolor artist, which is what I mainly paint or painted. But now, of course, I'm veering more towards acrylics and abstraction and experimentation. And I find that I can't really, oh no, see, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. The paper broke. That's okay though. Doesn't matter. We're good, we're good. Yeah. It dried really quickly. See, that was my fear with this type of paper, because it's going to absorb the humidity of the paint. Okay. Lesson learned, I guess. We can do something about this. I have it covered, so it's not going to, well, Although here, yeah, I should. Fair enough. You just do this. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I have described myself as a watercolor artist in my socials, like in my YouTube and in my Instagram. And I don't know if I want to keep using that, even though, or if I even want to have a title, you know. It's not a title, but a description that just sort of tells everyone, gives an idea to anyone who visits it, what it is that I actually do, art-wise. And I think describing myself as a watercolor artist is very limiting. So I think I'm just gonna have to change it for artist. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to get back to... Hold on, it's not open. That doesn't mean that I don't want to continue with watercolors, because I really like using watercolors. I really love it. I don't know, it's never giving me problems. Ah, it's from earlier. So I wanna get back to watercolors, but I think right now I'm at a stage or in a phase that I don't want to do watercolors. They are too soft at the moment for me, too calm, and I think I need something more expressive, more in your face type of art. See, I want to be able to make mistakes, and instead of cry about them, just move on and find a way to fix it, you know. My memory card ran out, so I've had to switch it. And I also realized now that I've been yabbering for half an hour already. Okay, so let's get back to the art. I have the blue here, which is an idea that I wanted. Like I wanted to put this blue here, but now I'm not liking it because of the shape. I wanted a different shape, but it's not too bad actually. It's actually not bad. Let's see what else we can do here. I need to lift it up so that I can see the shine. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I like this. It gives it a bit more balance, but then I'm going to need something here as well. Okay, if I stick it there, or if I put it on here. Actually, this one is nice, like that. Yeah, I think I prefer this one. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm applying glue to that piece of paper. And the piece of paper is just some specialty paper that I have with, and I've painted acrylic on top. I've made a mixture of the raw umber fluid acrylic with the Payne's Gray fluid acrylic, and I just applied it haphazardly, like so. And then I use this, I'll break it up into pieces and use it to add to my paintings. It has a nice texture because the paper itself has a texture. It's like fancy copy paper that I got many years ago in a cream color. And it looks nice. It looks really nice. The textures on it. I'm having a thing with textures as of late. Don't know if you've seen my Instagram. If you follow me on there, and if you don't, please go and follow me. I've been sharing snippets of my sketchbook, showing a lot of texture. So yeah, that's been my jam as of late. Okay, I like the blue there. It is. And my cat wants to come back inside. So hold on again.
Ven, ven un ratito. En bracitos con mami. Venga, venga. Hola. Di hola. 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 Hello. I don't want to paint. Can you hear him purring? Baby.
Okay, so now you can see it's having a bit more cohesion with my other paintings. And it's also because this one here, and let me just, you're out of range. This paper here is the same paper as this one, and I've painted acrylic on top, so it's that light blue one and then another blue as well. Hey Pixel, ¿te aburres? Don't eat the camera. Baby. Yeah, okay, now that I've added this piece here, I don't feel I need too much on this side. But I think I would like to add something here. Can you see the shine? It doesn't translate properly, actually, on the screen, I think. At least what I can see on my little screen of the camera. I think I want to add some black or like a dark, I would like a dark line or something on here. That's just an idea. Just need my ruler. I didn't use this. Yeah, the ruler might smudge, so I'm going to use this one. Or I am too distracted. And this is what happens when I'm too distracted. I make a mess, a literal mess. So the paint that I had on my thingy here wasn't dry, and I've smeared it on top of everything. So my hands, and of course the sketchbook. The table. This one is dry. Okay, then let's just use our ruler. It's not bad, actually. The smears look good actually on it. I'm doing it with a ruler because I want the lines to be super straight. I want that contrast of very organic shapes and loose and, you know, all very natural, so to speak, and then something very harsh, very straight, very strict. And if I did it freehand, it wouldn't give the same effect. And I'm making this up as I go. This relaxes me so much that it comes to a point that I actually get sleepy. But I tend to get sleepy around this time, so it's almost 20 past 5. I'm struggling to stay awake. So I'm going to leave it right there for now. Because otherwise this video is going to be way too long. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm sure I'm gonna have to edit out quite a lot of parts. So if you notice that the video has a lot of cuts, that's the reason why. I don't want to bore you to death. Anyway, so for now, right now I'm calling it finished. This one here. And I'm gonna continue working on this one, but I'm not going to film it because, like I said, otherwise I'm just going to have hours and hours of footage, and that's not the plan. And I'll still be using these as a sort of an inspiration, as a guide of what direction to take. Even though they are kind of similar, they are also different. Let me show you what I mean. Even though it looks different to these ones, it still has something that goes together with it. Like it could still be part of the same collection. It ties in together because of the colors and because of the textures used as well. Like the texture here, same as the one that I used here, and the same that I used in this little guy there. Then I have the gold here, because this is it's painted golden. Ties in with the gold. Not the gold, sorry, the silver ties in very well with the silver on this spread. And I don't have any metallics on this one here. But I do have the white jelly roll, which is also, and gives the lines like some linear element that ties in with this linear element here. This one is the softest probably because it doesn't have anything on top, any collage, any lines to break it up. So now that I'm looking at it, I might do something else to it. I might add something else so that all of them can tie in together more cohesively. But still, I think they would look well together. So that brings us to the end of this very long chatty painting vlog. I hope you enjoyed this format. I am trying to do different things in my channel, and I also know that it took me a long time to post a video, but I had renovations in my house. I was getting my studio done as well as my husband's office done, so that took quite a long time, and I was unable to film anything during that time. But I thank you for sticking around with me. It means a lot. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.